Halloween for 44 days he gets to eat.
Eat what? Eat what?
Eat us. Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to Brittyween 2020. Now today, of course, I am Draco Malfoy, who is my favorite character from Harry Potter, obviously, and I am a Slytherin. Like, when I'm not Draco Malfoy, I actually am a Slytherin. Today's video, this is something that freaks the hell out of me. I came across this and I was like, what the heck? Just from the picture alone. So imagine, you know, you hear about people who have been followed by a spirit their entire lives. Like, you know, the house that they were born in, that they grew up in, there was something in the house and it's always followed them throughout life. From every other home that they've moved into, that spirit has attached itself to them. It's lingered with them or their family. It's just always been a part of their life. But imagine seeing this thing following you everywhere. And I don't mean, it's not like it gets up and it follows you. It's like this gigantic puppet thing, like literally like the size of me. It looks like it's at least 5'6" or like 6 foot tall, or I don't know. I'm 5'6", by the way. But imagine this thing just following you everywhere you go throughout life. And like I said, I don't mean it gets up and follows you and stalks you that way and like runs after you or walks behind you or something like that. Like maybe you're watching TV and it appears on your TV. Maybe you're FaceTiming with your best friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your parents or whoever, and this thing takes over. Maybe you're reading a book and there's pictures in it, but the face of that thing appears in the book. That's the way that it follows you everywhere you go. I think that is the freakiest thing ever. This scares me more than anything. Well, you guys know real life humans, like living humans, scare me more than anything. But this crop right here freaks me out so much. So I was like, you know what? It freaks me out. It'll freak y'all out. You guys know, like, I don't make sense with what freaks me out and what doesn't freak me out. I can go into a demonic house and be like, hey, what's up, everybody? But if I saw this puppet man coming after me, following me, appearing everywhere, I would run for my life. I don't know what I would do. I would like sage myself. Do something, you know, get rid of all that negative energy. Whatever the heck that thing is. Like, well, you know what? First of all, I'd probably be like, can I use you in a video? Can I film you? Anyways, we're gonna get into this. So this is like a creepypasta or whatever. You got, or creepypasta. You guys like when I do this? I think the last creepypasta I did was Laughing Jack. So if you want to check that out, that's a weird one too. But I'm living because it's like a clown. So, and I live for clowns, you know. So this is known as the puppet. And this thing, like I said, it's been following around this man forever now. This man sees this thing everywhere. And it is very disturbing. Like, it is creepy. I better find the creepiest background music to put in this video because this is so, like, I have chills right now. The puppet has always haunted me. It had a big head and its face was made of wrinkled, flesh-colored rubber. The eyes were gigantic, bulging white orbs, and its black hair was made of some hard substance that didn't quite mesh with the rubbery head. The teeth were gigantic, pure white, and capable of moving up and down. The body and limbs were wooden, painted to resemble clothes, but the paint was faded. Each arm and leg was a different length, but the hands and feet were pretty detailed. It made a loud, clattering sound whenever it moved. The puppet has always followed me. I don't mean it got up and chased me around the room or anything. I mean, it kept showing up in my life. My earliest memory of it is from my first birthday. Although I obviously can't recall much of that day, I do remember that horrible puppet. I have no idea why it was there. I just remember it scared me to death and I couldn't stop crying. A few years later, when I was finally able to talk, I asked my parents about it, and they denied anything like that ever happened on my first birthday. The next time I saw it was when I was 3 years of age. I was exploring a room filled with old stuff my parents had stored away, and I found a calendar. I don't remember the year. There was a photo for each month. but the only one I remember was October. That puppet was the image for it. I got scared and ran out of the room. I told my mom and tried to show her the calendar so that she'd know the puppet was real, but I couldn't find it. The room had been very messy and I ran out of it so quickly that I knocked over piles of stuff. I guess the calendar just got buried. It happened again when I was 6 years old. Once I was 7 years old. That's what this reminds me of. In the middle of the night, I woke up from a nightmare. I was too scared to go back to sleep, so I went down to the living room and turned on the TV. An old black and white TV show was just ending, and when the commercials started, the puppet came on the screen. It was dancing while loud music played in the background. I screamed and started crying uncontrollably, but by the time my parents got downstairs, the puppet was gone. This is literally some Pennywise crap going on. You guys don't even know how much this freaks me out. But I would be living, I think. Like, if I experienced this, I'd be like, okay, I'm living. But I'd be freaked out, like so freaked out. When I was 15, I decided to try to track it down using the internet to try to find information about the calendar, the commercial, anything. No one ever heard of it, but one day I got an instant message from someone I had never talked to before. The person's screen name was a random mashup of numbers and letters, but their avatar was a picture of the puppet. "Glad that you still remember me," they said. Then immediately they signed off. They never contacted me or came back online again. When I was 20 years old, I was walking past a store that sold old toys and dolls, and in the front window, I saw the puppet. I went inside and asked the clerk if he knew anything about the puppet's history, when it was made, where it was from, anything. The only thing he could tell me was that the puppet had been sold to the store a few days before. He told me I could have it for $6. $6? I would actually buy it for $6 if I saw that thing. I wasn't sure what to do. It still scared me, but having proof that it really existed seemed like a good idea. So I bought the puppet and took it home. For a while, I felt better. I regarded the puppet as an irrational childhood fear that as an adult, I had managed to overcome. I even started to believe the explanations my parents had tried to give me. They said I must have seen it somewhere as a baby, and the image just became lodged in my subconscious. I must have imagined it in the calendar, they said. Perhaps I was dreaming when I saw it on the TV commercial. Maybe the person who contacted me online had just been playing a practical joke. I kept the puppet, but as I moved on in my life, I pretty much forgot about it. I finished college, settled down, and got married. My wife will be giving birth in a few weeks. I was cleaning up the spare room and preparing it for when the baby comes. And that's when I found the puppet in the back of the wardrobe, dusty and abandoned. I did not want to leave it in my child's bedroom, so I picked it up and moved it to another place. As I was dusting it off, I noticed a faded inscription on the back. It read, "This is what he will look like." Before I could figure out what that meant, I heard my wife crying downstairs. I rushed to her side and she looked more upset than I had ever seen her before, sobbing. She told me that the doctor had just called. There was a problem with the baby. I don't know about you guys, but that is like the freakiest thing that I've ever heard in my life. I know there's gonna be people like, girl, how the heck does that scare you? And I know there's people gonna be like, oh my god, that is the scariest thing ever. I don't know what it is. This gives me such an unsettling vibe. I hate that feeling. That's what I feel from the story. Just from looking at this puppet, it freaks me out. Maybe I wouldn't buy it actually just for those reasons, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. You know what it kind of reminds me of though? I made a video years ago. I think I was dressed like Harley Quinn in this video. This is like 2014, 2015. I had this huge clown puppet thing in my bedroom growing up, and it was pink, it was huge, and it was on a swing. It would sit in the corner of my room like hanging up, swinging, and it was literally like the size of me. And it freaked me out because it had this creepy smile. I don't know why my parents bought it for me, but I would just look at it every night like, what the heck? I literally thought the thing was gonna come to life and jump on me and attack me or something, but it would just swing on my ceiling. And it was pink though, so it was kind of cute. But yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of. I wish I still had that clown, because probably would have been a part of my set or something, because now growing up, well, now that I am grown up, I live for clowns. Like, I live for clowns, clearly. So literally it was like the size of Grimsley, but it was swinging on a swing. So can you imagine? Can you imagine? today I'd be living though if I saw it. Like, I'd be like, yes, you know, just have it swinging behind me in my videos. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this puppet man, this puppet thing that appears everywhere. So freaky. And what would you do? Would you actually pay $6 for it? I mean, that's a great price. I would, but I'd still feel that uneasy, unsettling energy around it. And I hate that. I hate that feeling. You have to get rid of that feeling. Ugh. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you rock my world. In the song lyrics, Michael Jackson, hashtag team Brittany44, hashtag Beretta Runs. Hey, and I will see you guys in my next video.